Installation of the Thermaltake Frio OCK is actually very easy for a large dual fan cooler. We've seen a recent trend of easier mountings, less complicated, and Thermaltake is definitely following that trend. And the Frio OCK goes in without a problem in just about anything, as long as you've got a decent sized motherboard tray cutout I should say, goes in without a problem. First step, you have got your back plate marked clearly for AMD. We go AMD side out, or Intel side out, which will go right around the Intel back plate. And you've got your 4 bolts, which will go through the motherboard and hold the unit into place with thumb screws on the other side. With the back plate in place and your 4 bolts pushed through, 4 very simple thumb screws will hold it into place. Go right over and just secure them down to the motherboard. Don't need to be too tight, you're just holding the back plate into place and setting up the mounting for the brackets. With the back plate in place, we're going to take our Intel mounts. AMD mounts will be the same, just shorter and up top and on the bottom. But we're going to use the Intel, and they go side to side. Go right on. 4 thumb screws, which are slotted on the top, should you want to use the tool. And you can put them right into place. I will say, they are called thumb screws for a reason. This is not something that needs to be over tightened. You don't need to hulk this down. You're just holding it into place and you don't want it to move. You're not going to get any travel just by tightening by thumb, and you won't have a problem with them seizing up later. With all 4 bolt downs in place, you can see you've got your mount all set up. On the tower itself, simply need 2 screws in each side, put in the spring clips. After applying your thermal material, it will go in. Simply tighten down the 2 screws until they stop. With both screws secured, the Thermaltake Frio OCK sits nicely in there. You can see both towers, the 2 screws holding it down. We've plugged in our shroud and fans, and it is absolutely as simple as sliding it over the tower and snapping it into place. You can see fan control hangs down, low to high, simple dial. So all installed in the case, the Thermaltake Frio OCK, large cooler, very good looking cooler, really nice with this shroud. It does block your first RAM slot on this particular motherboard, arguably depending on your RAM, the second RAM slot, but it's not so big that it's going to take up your entire first bank. Again, you can see the blue accent, red trim, and the large blue fans encompassed by the large shroud. Frio OCK, the overclock king.